Hi there. I've thought about making this video for a long time, but I'm a lazy asshole, so I haven't really gotten around to it. I call this video "Growing Up in a Christian Nation," just to make sure that no one thinks that this is really a deconversion story or something like that. I never was. I don't think I ever had something to deconvert from. I sort of was a Christian when I was a small child, but I never really was into the Christian thing, really. So this is more about my personal experience, really, with the kind of benign Christianity that you can find in Norway. I come from a religious family, with my mother being a priest in the Church of Norway, but I never had this particularly strict religious upbringing. I attended church on Sundays, went to Sunday school sometimes, said grace before we ate, you know, the usual stuff like that, and I had no idea how to do that in other families, but in mine that was just sort of a natural thing to do. Especially that grace thing. When I ate by myself, I used to do it until I was, I don't know, 10, 11 years old perhaps. I have a lot of relatives, especially on my mother's side, which is a lot more devoted Christian than I ever was. So, and I've seen how they did it, and it wasn't that much different really. The Lutheran kind of Christianity have a special place in Norway. It's like it's protected by the constitution. The king has to be a part of it and all that. And of course, it's when I was young, we had an own class in school called Christianity. This is about you should learn the Ten Commandments and Lord's Prayer and some stuff like that. And I sort of think that that is one of the reasons why Norway is such a secular country, because everything you put into a school curriculum is automatically extremely boring, and young people are not really interested in it. So I don't know, maybe that has something to do with it. I certainly think so. Well, most people do consider themselves to be Christian. I certainly did, but I never, I guess most people never really thought about my religious convictions. It was just, yeah, sure, I'm Norwegian, that's why I'm a Christian as well. But when I wanted to go to confirmation, which most people do, and most people do it in the church, of course, that was like the first time I ever did some thinking about this, and it wasn't very hard for me to come to the conclusion that I didn't really believe anything about this. That's sort of, I realized that I had nothing to do in the church. One of the last times we met before the confirmation was held in the church. So by the age of 14, I was basically a non-believer. I had considered myself to be an agnostic without really knowing what that meant for quite a few years actually. But now I've come to terms with that I didn't believe in Jesus or God or any other gods for that matter. So I guess I was an atheist, but I never thought very much about it. I didn't consider it to be anyone's matter besides my own, and I didn't put much thought into it. Why should I? It was nothing to think much about, I think. But I stayed as a member of the church for quite a few years, just because I was lazy and didn't bother to terminate my membership. But I did when I was 20. But even though I was never Christian, or Christianity never really got to me, I attended a lot of Christian activities. I went to a lot of summer camps by the Christian societies in both Norway, Sweden, Spain, and I attended youth clubs that was Christian. I was an instructor there for a few years actually on table tennis. I got to be a quite decent player. When I got older, I attended some other youth clubs down in town. So I was a lot around Christian people and the Christian society around here, but didn't impact me in any way. I wasn't interested in the talking part or the Christian part at all. And that was basically my story. It wasn't particularly interesting, as I never had to deconvert from a very strong held belief in anything. But I guess my story is quite common for many people in Norway, if they actually bother to think about what they really believe, which I know very many people don't.